Hi everybody. So here's a complete yoga practice. In this practice we're focusing on balancing the qualities of energy and lightness with softness and grounding and centering. For this practice you might need a block. If you don't have a block, maybe a big thick book. We don't want to use a cushion or anything soft. You need lots of support for your wrists if you're using blocks. And if you don't worry about it. Also a towel or a cushion to help with some seated support might be handy too. I hope you enjoy the practice. Okay, so we'll just start in the most comfortable seated or kneeling position for you. You might like to give more space for the knees by popping a towel between the back of the thighs and the top of the calves, right up close to the back of the knee joint. Or seated cross-legged, or even on a stool to start with is absolutely fine. You just want to have the spine fairly lengthened, so the crown of the head is balanced above the tailbone, the base of the spine. And when you're ready, choosing to either close the eyes or just softening the gaze, keeping the gaze fairly close, so we're starting to shift our awareness internal. And becoming more sensitive to the movement of your breath, allowing your belly to be soft, so we bring the breath into the lower areas of the lungs. Just being patient so the exhalation has time to be completed. And for the first few rounds of breath here, you might like to silently count the breath, so about 4 to 5 counts for both the inhale and the exhale. Bringing a little more depth to the breath. With your inhalation, I'd like you to focus on an upward lifting and expanding energy within your body, particularly around the back of the heart space, gently rising and expanding with the inhalation. There's a waterfall effect through the body with the exhalation, shoulders softening, front of the rib cage softening, and the sit bones, the pelvis becomes heavy. As we observe the inhalation gently lifting and expanding the back of the heart space, and the exhalation gently grounding through the sacrum, the back of the pelvis and sit bones, naturally we're creating a little more length and space through the lower part of the torso, through the back of the body, between the top of the pelvis and the base of your ribs. A sense of unwinding through this lower part of the back, just simply through the movement and the quality of the inhalation and exhalation. We'll bring the palms together at the heart space. And just bringing a little intention to your practice, just a single word or a couple of short words that you would like to work with in this practice today. Something possibly that you'll be carrying into for the rest of the day or the evening. And then gently going to make our way through into a child's pose. If you need to stretch out the back of the knees beforehand, please do. We also have that modification of supporting again with the rolled up towel or blanket behind the back of the knees in child's pose. Arms can gently lengthen forward, or you could place them underneath the forehead. We return to these qualities of the inhalation and exhalation. The inhale, bringing a gentle forward movement of the heart space, both back and front here. And the exhalation, a downward, lengthening movement through pelvis and base of spine. Sit bones gently becoming heavy towards your heels. And inhale to rise up onto all fours. And then as you exhale, tuck your toes, lift your knees into downward facing dog. About 5 breaths here. We can gently release one leg and then alternate to the other side. Just being patient. Allowing the body to work through the releases at its own pace, knowing that each time we practice may be a little different. And then let's just find stillness here for a breath or two, pressing into the fingertips, so there's almost like a pushing effect of the hands away in downward facing dog, the stretching of the arms, but still keeping some space of the shoulders moving away from the ears. Where they're pushing through the hands, pushing through the arms. This helps you to stabilize the scapulars, activating the correct muscles in downward facing dog. Let's roll through to a plank position, inhaling. Welcome to come to your knees here. We'll stay for the exhale. Find the space and length through the lower back again here. And a lift of the back of the heart space gently as you press the hands into the earth. One more breath in. And then lowering to the earth as you exhale. You're welcome through your knees if you like. Ground the tops of the feet, taking a breath into the belly. The heart lifts as we exhale. We can go a little higher with an inhale and the help of the hands, Bhujangasana. And then exhaling long back down to the earth. Keeping the forehead grounded, inhale to your belly. The right leg lifts as we exhale. The whole leg is strong from the back of the buttocks down to the toes. Inhaling to place the leg back down. And exhaling to lift the left leg from the hip, straight knee. Inhaling to place the leg down. One more time each side. Exhale, right leg. Inhale. And exhale, left leg, just awakening the back line of the legs here. Inhaling to place the leg down. And a little cobra for your exhale. Ground strongly through the tops of the feet. Legs are energized through to big toes. And slowly we'll lower down. And you can ease your way back through into child's pose or downward facing dog. If you're in child's pose, lifting up the knees, come through to downward facing dog. And then slowly we're going to walk the feet, taking our time. Come up to the top of your mat. Try to keep your head dropped so we continue to look to the back of the mat. And we'll just place the feet hip distance apart, holding the elbows gently, letting the top of the head drop right down. There's a softness to the knees here. Just gently swaying the body. Inviting a little release through the side waist into the lower back. And coming to the center, keeping your knees soft, the weight heavy through the feet evenly balanced. Drop the arms down. One more time with the head dropping a little further down. So the base of your skull at the back of the neck is completely released. And then we're going to gather through the pelvic floor. Lift the lower abdominal wall as you very slowly roll up through the spine. Almost like you're placing the spine onto a wall behind you, just slowly, slowly peeling that spine up, and the back of the head gently rests onto the imaginary wall. And we'll sweep the arms forward and up, inhaling through your heart space. Exhale. Relax the shoulders, take a breath to the back of the heart and thumbs. Open the palms, exhale, release your hands down by the side of the body. Keeping the knees soft here and just returning to the movement of breath that we worked with at the beginning of our practice. So the heart space through the back line, inhaling to expand and gently lift. The exhalation, we feel a heaviness of the back of the pelvis all the way down through to the heels. And as a result, we feel spaciousness and softness through that lower back. So we're not collapsing into the lower back as we're soft. Creating the lift to give the space. Front of your ribs just gently softening down. One more breath through your body. You can keep the feet hip distance apart, or if you like to flow with your feet together, bringing them together. Any lower back sensitivity, I recommend keeping the feet a little spacious so the lower back has more space and support. And inhaling, we'll sweep the arms wide. Palms together, fold through your center line. Exhaling, soft knees, drop the head. Half lift with bent knees, slightly inhaling. Step the left leg back as you exhale. Inhaling, lengthening the heart. And step back to downward facing dog. Exhale. Inhale, come through to high plank. Option to your knees. Lower down to the earth. Exhale. Strong legs for cobra. Inhaling. And exhale, lower back down. Tuck your toes or through your knees, inhale. And exhale to lift the body back through downward facing dog. So pull the inner thighs up through to the space behind you. Stretch the arms long, turning the armpits towards each other here so we're not jamming up through the shoulder blades and the neck. Right leg high, inhaling, lift your left heel right up high. Exhale to step the foot through, bringing the knee high and placing the foot down. You can bring the back knee to the mat here if you like. Come up to your high lunge, sweeping the arms up as you inhale, and then softening down. Exhale. Keep the arms by the side here. The heart lifts with an inhalation. And pelvis is strong, anchoring down. Exhale. Sweep the arms high. Inhale. Heart comes forward a little. Arms sweep back. Exhale. If your back knee is grounded, tuck the toe and lift the knee. We're pressing into the front foot to come up into Dekasana, aeroplane pose. Hips are level. Press down into the right foot to give a lift to the body, lengthening into that right leg. And then slowly placing the feet together, coming into Utkatasana, bending the knees, sweeping the arms up, inhaling. And we'll fold forward. Exhale. Half lift. And exhaling, gently navel to spine as you fold. Arms sweep wide, inhale. To your heart space, exhale. Inhaling here. And open the palms, exhaling arms by the side of the body. Relaxing through the shoulders. Arms sweeping wide, inhaling. Exhale to fold. Inhale, lengthening, half lift. Right leg steps back, exhale. Create length to your spine, inhale. And step back to downward facing dog. Exhale. Inhale to the plank. Exhale, chaturanga. You can choose cobra again. Upward facing dog, inhaling. And then take your time. We're going to meet through into downward facing dog. There's no rush. We'll have a few breaths there. Balancing the breath. Just be careful, sometimes we habitually lift the heels here. As the body starts to warm up and release, you might find you can soften a little through your calves, the back of the legs. Just letting the heels get a little heavy. Take our left leg up, inhale, lift the right heel high. And then knee to the chest, hip stay as high as possible as we step the foot through. Option for the back knee down to the mat, and inhale to sweep the arms up. And then soften the arms down as you exhale. It's a nice breath here to create the softness and space through the lower back. Inhaling, sweeping your arms up. Exhaling, bring the heart forward a little. Reach the arms back. If your back knee's grounded, tuck the toes, lift the knee. We press firmly into that front foot, gather up through your lower navel to come into our aeroplane pose. Reaching the front and the back of the heart space forward as you press your back heel firmly into the wall. And then we'll place the foot down next to each other as we come into Utkatasana. Letting the tailbone become heavy, heart space lifts. And exhaling to fold forward. Inhale, half lift, come on, no time to play. And exhaling to fold. Arms sweep wide, inhale. And we'll exhale to the heart. You can inhale to the heart space. Open the palms as the exhale washes down through your body. Arms rest naturally by the side. Sense of rooting down and connection of the soles of the feet to the earth. And inhale to sweep the arms wide. Exhaling to fold forward. Inhale, half lift. Take your left leg back, exhale. And left palm to the ground. Open up to a twist to the right side. Try to lift out of your left shoulder a little. Draw the lower belly up and away from the thigh. Another breath in. And exhale to lower the right hand down. Back heel will set down as we inhale, rise up, Virabhadrasana 2. So inhaling to draw all the way up, lengthening the front leg. And then exhaling to soften back in. Pressing strongly through your back legs so we're balanced in our energy through both legs. The rib cage is directly above the pelvis here. Calm, steady breath. Going to flip the front palm. Inhale for a peaceful warrior, just gently tipping back as you reach up to the top hand. And then exhaling, windmilling the hands over. Bring the back knee down to the mat. And we're going to walk the front foot just a little wide there. You can bring both palms down. Nice lengthening out of that left hip as we lower the pelvis forward and down. You might like to have just a little bit of movement here through the pelvis just to create a little release. Tucking the back toe under, lifting the knee up. Press strongly down through your hands. Scoop the lower belly up as you lift the right foot, pinning the right knee to the upper arm. And then extend the leg back into a three-legged downward dog. And take a breath in. Exhale to bring the knee into the chest. Pull the shin up to the thigh. We could take some little swings here, just gently swishing from knee to knee. Just warming up through the core muscles. And then we'll inhale, extend the leg back to a plank and lower down, exhale. A little cobra, inhaling And lower down, exhale. Just resting your left forearm forward. We can bend the right knee and just take a hold of the foot with a hand. If you can't reach your foot there, what you can do is just grab a strap, a belt, or a sock and loop it around the foot and just drawing down. Keep the front of the hips long and grounded so we're not lifting up the buttocks here. Knees stay in line with the hips. And just gently with control, we'll release the hold of the foot, slowly lowering it down. Just placing your palms under the forehead. Give the hips just a little bit of a wriggle here. And a nice earthy belly breath, breathing space into the lower part of the back. Allow the earth to receive the weight of your body. Bring the hands either side of the shoulders strong through the legs. Inhaling, lifting heart space up. And exhale down. Tuck the toes or through your knees to a plank as we inhale. And downward dog, belly high, exhale. Slow, smooth breath in. And exhale. Right leg high, inhaling. Exhale, we'll step the foot through. Come to your fingertips, inhale, lengthen, and step the feet together. Exhaling to fold, navel gently to spine. Half lift, inhaling. And exhale. Arms to sweep wide. Going through to the second side. Exhale to fold forward. Inhaling, half lift. Take the right leg back. Right hand stays to the mat and we open for a twist to the left side. Press down into your right hand to lift the right collarbone away from the armpit. Reaching all the way up to the top fingertips and the back thigh is switched on. It's lifting up into the thigh bone. Exhale to lower that hand down. Set your back heel down so the back foot's on that 45-degree angle, and then we'll inhale up, Virabhadrasana 2. So with the breath here, inhaling to draw up and softening, exhale. Equal weight, equal energy through the legs, front and back. Just balancing the rib cage directly above the pelvis. It's a tendency to lean over the front leg here a little. And can we find that spaciousness in the lower back here? The supportive lift of heart with inhale and the lengthening and grounding with the exhalation of the pelvis. Might feel like you've grown just a little bit taller between the rib cage and the top of your pelvis. Keeping the legs strong, leaning back as you inhale for a little peaceful warrior. And then exhaling, the hands come down to the mat. Lift the back heel and we'll walk that front foot wide of the left hand. So hands under shoulders and your left foot to the edge of the mat. Coming down onto the back knee. Let the elbows be soft here. And you might like to just have just a little bit of movement through the pelvis there. I always like to check in with my breath when I'm releasing the hip flexors, making sure that the belly isn't locked. The belly is soft so the diaphragm can move with the breath. If we lock the belly, we lock the diaphragm, and our breath will be just through that upper chest, the shallow breath. I want to make sure that we're not doing that in our practice or at any time. Okay, so let's just do a little bit of strengthening work. We tuck the back toe, lift the knee up, press into your hands, back of the heart space lifts, and then pin the left knee into the upper left arm as you lift the foot up. And we'll come back through to a three-legged downward dog. Inhaling. As you exhale, bring your left knee into the center of the chest. Squeeze the calf to the thigh. You can stay there, pressing the hands down strongly. Or we can add those little swishes of the knee. It's nice for the mobility of the hips, strengthening of the hip muscles, and also strengthening a little through your core. We'll inhale to extend the leg back for the plank. Heart forward, exhale, lower down through to the ground. Little cobra, inhaling. And exhale, lower down. So right forearm comes underneath forehead, and then bending that back knee, using the strap or the belt, or holding onto the foot with the left hand, so same hand to foot. Knees stay in line with the hips, so be careful it hasn't swung out to the left side of the mat. Focusing on the quality of the breath here. And gently releasing the foot down. We'll just place the hands underneath the forehead, giving your hips just a little bit of a rock. Breathing softness and space into the pelvic area. Letting go of any internal propping that's holding us off the earth. So we can just let ourselves be supported by the ground. And we'll strengthen up through the legs, hands come by the shoulders, and you can move back through the knees or toes. We're going to lift into a plank on toes or knees as we inhale. And then lift your belly high to downward dog, exhale.
pulling up through the outer hips, letting them lift up towards the back corners of the room. Balancing our breath. Mind is steady in this moment with this breath. And we'll take our left leg up as we inhale. Bring the foot through slowly, exhaling. Come to your fingertips, broaden collarbones, inhale. And step forward into the fold, exhale. Half lift, inhaling. You can soften the knees a little there. And then fold, drop your head again, exhale, navel to spine. Arms sweeping wide, come up with a flat back, inhale. And heart space, exhale. Breath to the heart. Release the arms by the side, exhaling. Okay, so let's open the eyes. Bring your eyes to a steady point of focus. Strengthen up through the right leg. So to do this, we'll lift the arch of the right foot by pressing down through base of the big toe, base of the little toe, and the center of your heel. And once you feel the drawing up action through up to the right glute and hip, we can bring our left foot onto the calf, or lift your left knee high up towards the armpit and then place the foot to the inner thigh. Just be careful it doesn't come onto the knee directly. We want the hips to stay level so we're not rotating through the pelvis. And then we can bring palms to the heart space. Or you could extend the arms up. And we can give more spaciousness around the shoulders by just releasing the arms wide there. You can turn the hands towards each other, spiraling the armpits, which broadens the shoulder blades. Breath flows. Steady mind. If your arms are reaching up, just wash them down by the side as you exhale. Just letting the shoulders relax. Bring the palms back to the heart space together. We'll draw the knee forward, keeping the left knee off the mat. And then stepping back for triangle pose trikonasana. So this is about a leg length's distance between the 2 feet. It's a little shorter than your warrior 2 stance. Inhaling the arms sweep wide. Pull up through the right thigh, keeping the front knee unlocked as we reach the heart forward, moving from the hips rather than a bend of the spine. Opening up here through the chest. So this is where you might like to use a block. If you would like to, you can place it down on the high edge. I'm just demonstrating here. We want to make sure we're not collapsing into the block, locking the shoulder joints out in any way. There's a lift away from the block. It's just for balance. Turn the head to look down. Take your left hand, the top hand, onto the hip. Coming into our Ardha Chandrasana, with or without the block. So the fingertips or the block are about a foot distance, a torso distance, forward of your front foot. Press the back heel strongly into an imaginary wall. Rolling the heart space open to the side as we reach up optionally through that top arm. And then seeing if we can just bend into that front knee a little bit. Palms come together as we slowly come up to standing. Bring the knee all the way up into the chest and place the foot down. Just with the arms and breath, arms sweep wide, inhaling. And by the side slowly. Exhale, wash the breath through the body. And then we'll awaken that left leg. Lift the arch by pressing down through those 3 points in the left foot. A little lift of the pelvic floor will stabilize your pelvis and give more balance. Right foot can come onto the calf or lift the knee up high towards the armpit and then place the foot to the inside of the thigh. Palms together. You can stay here with the hands or slowly reach the arms up as we're balancing that lift of the arms with a grounding of the left leg. You can separate the hands to give more space around the shoulders. Be careful you're not holding the breath. I often hear a big collective sigh when we come out of a balance in the room when we're practicing together. So we really want the breath to continue to flow so there's no sigh at the end of the balance. So together we'll inhale. Let the exhale wash the arms down, relaxing your shoulders completely, collarbones relaxed. And then bring the hands back together. Well done if you're keeping your balance. And then bring the right knee forward, knee comes up into the chest. With control, stepping the right foot back, about a leg's length between the 2 feet. Inhale, arms come out to shoulder height or just below. And then exhaling into triangle pose, Trikonasana. With or without the block. Try to broaden the collarbones away from each other and the shoulder blades moving gently away from each other. So there's a balance of spaciousness and expansion across the front of the chest and the back of the upper back and shoulders. If you're quite flexible through the lower back, there's just a little bit of a weave of the front body there, the rib cage weaving into the back body, gathering so that we're not coming into a strong curve through the lower back. And turn the head to look down, and take the right hand to the hip with or without a block. We're transitioning into the half moon. Ardha Chandrasana. Hips are open. So if you're just starting off with the practice or the balance isn't with you today, just you can keep that back toe touched down lightly as a nice option there. Pulling up evenly through the inner thigh and outer thigh of your standing leg. Try not to collapse down through one side of the thigh. Right arm can extend up. And then slowly we'll give a little bend into the standing knee just to help with our balance as we slowly bring palms together. Right knee up into the chest. And place the foot down. And sweep your arms wide, inhaling. Exhale to fold. Inhale to a half lift. And then downward facing dog, stepping the legs back slowly. You could skip this vinyasa flow and come into child's pose or stay in downward dog. With the breath inhaling forward. Strong legs as we lower, exhale. Cobra upward dog, lift the back and the heart. And exhale, lifting your navel back through downward facing dog. And then we'll come down onto the knees if you're not already there. Just resting in any variation of child's pose that feels most restorative to you. And come up slowly onto the hands and knees, and then make your way down to lie on your back. We're going to work through some nice releases on the back of the body. Try not to get too excited about any Shavasana ideas just yet. So just on the back of the body, we can have the feet grounded, knees bent. And just resting your hands, if it's comfortable for you, onto your lower belly there, letting your pelvis get a little heavy. So heaviness through the feet. And the arms come down by the side of the body. Your fingertips would almost reach the heels there. So you're pretty close to the heels with the ankles underneath the knees, hip distance apart. So just taking a breath into the belly here, inhaling. Exhale, ground down through the feet, activate the back of the legs and the back of the buttocks to slowly lift the spine away from the ground. Knees are pressing towards the back end of your mat. Heart starts to lift up towards the chin. You can keep the arms by the side or possibly interlace the fingers, straightening the elbows so the little fingers are grounding down. And here your shoulder blades will come a little closer together as we roll onto the outer upper arms. So strong down through the feet, the toes are connected to the mat. Let the outer hips lift a little. One more breath. And then if your hands interlace, release the arms. We're going to let the back of the rib cage soften down slowly. So there's this waterfall effect through the spine. Slowly softening down the back of the rib cage and starting to move into the small of the lower back. And then letting your sit bones and the back of the pelvis get heavy down. So now it's tempting to bring the knees into the chest here. Try to just stay as we are. And then we will have time further down for a nice release of the spine in the opposite direction. So we're going to take our left ankle to the top of the right knee. And what we can do is we can stay there, or we can lift the right foot up and just hold on to the back of the right thigh with the fingers interlaced. And the knees coming out to the side there. If If you want to go a little stronger, you could hold the top of the shin. Let's see if you can avoid too much curling up at the lower back. So there's still a sense of the pelvis being heavy, the right foot dropping down and heavy. Starting to slow the breath down a little, slow your exhalations down. Okay, so from here we're going to move into a spinal twist, and this is a little different to what I've taught in the past. I've just come across this from one of my favourite teachers, Marianne from Organically Wealthy. So to see how it feels for you, we're going to take the right hand and hold onto the top of the left foot there and take your left arm out to the side. We're going to keep the right hand here, and then just slowly as you exhale, let your left foot and right knee drop towards the right side. So holding onto that foot's going to stop it from sliding down. And then the back of the left hip gets a little heavy, moving down towards that back corner of the mat. So the left knee will want to collapse down to your chest, but we're just seeing if we can keep it open, moving away from the chest. And if this isn't working for you, just release the foot and let the knees move in the same direction, one on top of the other. The left side of the lungs are just softening down to the ground. Continuing with the longer exhalation, dropping into a little bit of a pause there. Just a natural pause between breaths. And then we're just going to slowly, we can just release the right hand down and bring the knees back up. Uncross the left ankle if it's still on top of the thigh, and we'll draw both knees into the chest. You don't need to pin your knees together, you could keep them a little wide if that feels more natural for your hip joint. Relax the collarbones. Inhale to the belly, and then as you exhale, just release both feet down onto the ground. It'll be a little thud if you like. And then the right foot, ankle comes up onto the top of the left thigh. We can stay there or hold a little hammock to support the back of the left thigh with the hands interlaced. If you want to go a little deeper, holding the top of the shin, you could pop your block under the back of your head or your cushion or blanket, particularly if your chin is protruding right up and we're trapping off the back of the neck and base of skull. So we'd like to keep that line from the crown of the head down to the tailbone here free so the energy can move all the way through the system. There's no locking of energy in any place. Letting our left foot be heavy towards the earth, hips heavy towards the earth. And then taking our left foot onto the top of the right, so left hand onto the top of the right foot, right arm comes out to the side, and then we're just keeping the position of the legs as we take the left knee across to the left side, right foot plants down. And then the trick is in letting the back of your right hip move away here from the chest. It's heavy towards the back corner of your mat. And there's a softening of the whole right side of the back of the body there. Let the breath support that softening. Just being careful if the knee that's pointing up to the ceiling is starting to collapse down, just continuing to open it with the back of the right hip moving towards the back of your mat. If this isn't feeling good for you, just letting the knees come into the double bent knee twist to the left side, thighs resting on top of each other. And then slowly we're going to come back up, release the foot from the hand from the foot, slowly coming up. Right ankle off the left thigh as you let the knees come gently into the chest. So we can stay, we've got a few options. We can stay here with the knees into the chest, around 10 more breaths or so. Could come into a happy baby pose, where we hold on to the outer edges of the feet or the ankles. Or you might like to come into a halasana pose. So what we do here is we lift the knees up towards the forehead, tailbone lifts, and then you could touch your toes over the head, or you could place your hands onto the lower back. If your feet are hovering, make sure you put your hands on your lower back to support. So there's a lifting of the tailbone away from the shoulders. Feeling length to the spine here if you're in halasana. If there's a strong desire to lift up for a few breaths into shoulder stand, we work with a balance of the front body and the back body, lifting the heels up. If it feels compressive through the spine in any spot, lower back or neck, then come back into halasana, or one of the earlier options of knees to chest or baby pose. If you're in shoulder stand, we'll just take the toes back over the head. If the feet touch the ground, arms come by the side of the body, and then we're just taking our time all together to slowly place the spine, melting the back of the rib cage. Lowering very slowly down. If it feels like your head's going to lift, please bend your knees. But if you have the core strength to control the lowering the legs without lifting the chest or the head, you can continue to come down with straight legs. If you're in happy baby pose, just releasing the feet down to the ground, same with knees into chest. I know for some of you, you'll be like, yes, let's do this Shavasana. But what we're going to do is make our way slowly up to sit. So just rolling over to the side. You're very close. And then take your time. Use the hands to support you. Just take your time to gently come up. You can sit on a stool if sitting on the ground is not comfortable. You can sit cross-legged or kneeling. And then once you're in a comfortable seat, we're going to just drop back into the breath. And we'll inhale for 5 counts and exhale for 8 counts. We're going to do 3 through both nostrils, and then we'll do 3 rounds inhaling through the left side, exhaling through right, and then 3 inhaling through right nostril and exhaling through the left. So just starting off with an exhale through both nostrils, into the lower belly, 2, 3, 4, 5, exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And then taking Vishnu Mudra, second middle finger to the base of your thumb and fourth finger and little finger lightly to the nostrils. If your nostrils are blocked, just do as we did before through both nostrils and visualize the alternate breath. Otherwise, we'll start with the inhale through the left and the exhale through the right. We'll exhale together. Block the right nostril, inhale for 5. Block the left, exhale through right for 8. Inhale through left for 5. Block the left, exhale through right for 8. Inhale left. Exhale long right. Release the hand down. Just taking a breath or two through both nostrils between sides. Just rest in that experience, becoming a little sensitive to any subtle changes, any shifts or openings. And then we'll take the sequence inhaling through the right for 5 and exhaling through the left for 8, 3 times. So bringing the right hand back up in Vishnu Mudra, exhaling together, blocking the left nostril, inhaling through right for 5. Close the right and exhale left for 8. Inhale right. Close right, exhale left. Inhale right, mind with the breath, nothing else. Close right, exhale long left. Releasing the right hand down. Maintaining this relaxed concentration on your breath. If you would like to stay seated for a meditation practice here, please feel free to do so, or you can just gently make your way down to lie on your back. So this practice will just have a short shavasana and meditation, but if you would like a long one, you might like to just press pause now and complete the practice in your own time with the longer rest. Just making sure you're completely comfortable so the body can soften, the mind can be free from any discomfort, any distraction from that area. Whether you're seated or you're lying down, just choosing an aspect of the breath to be your anchor. Keep the mind steady and present. If you're lying down, just starting to gently bring some small movement back into the body. Stretching the arms, bending your knees, grounding the feet for a breath or two. You can stay there or bring the knees into the chest if the lower back needs a little nourishment. Take your time to roll onto the side of the body. Roll to the right side if that feels natural to you. And then we'll just gently come up to sit together. There's no rush. Bringing the hands into the heart space in Anjali Mudra. Just noticing the space within the body following the practice, that softness, balanced with an alive, revitalized energy and focus. You might like to bring your intention back to mind that you had at the beginning of the practice, just sowing that seed a little deeper into the relaxed mind. In the class, gently bowing forward, honoring the divine light we all share. Namaste. Thank you for gifting that time to yourself and joining me on the mat.